Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. How are my lovelies doing? How's my royalty? Let's grab some petty tea and let's get started. But yeah, when it comes to the holiday of Thanksgiving, I have so many conflicting views, especially the way that they teach it in school. And over the years, especially since I've been, you know, I'm more spiritual. I'm still Christian, but spiritual, because a lot of the Christian mentality, a lot of the scriptures, and a lot of the book is for men's benefit and allows men to use and take advantage of women. Yeah, and or when they see the leadership of women in the Bible, they just, oh, the things that I've heard. They don't, and then, okay. Yeah, I'm going to be all over the place today, but my channel is as messy as my life, all right? And if you're new, hi, hello, Handicapable Black woman, author of children's books, so soon to be novels. Yeah, it's taken. I've been explaining over 500 episodes, so catch up. But then my candles and greeting cards are going to be coming out 2026. Well, one of them might be sooner. We'll see. Well, I'm not sure. Part of me is like, you know what? After all the crap I've been through of being undiagnosed for decades and doctors mistreating me and mentally ABUSC, and to the point where I ended up mental and physical ABUSC when it came to family. Yeah, yeah, you got a lot to catch up on. But my version of the whole Thanksgiving, oh, especially over the years, learning more, reading more, and seeing how poorly educated our country is as a whole, which is how we ended up with the orange man in that White House to begin with. And also, a lot of them enjoy the racism and they love the excuse of using racism as a tool so that they can feel inferior. And they find it as a good excuse to be a bully because we got a lot of hateful Christians out here. It's like some of them are the meanest, most heartless people that you could ever meet. And I mean that with all of my heart, with all of the disrespect, every little drop and penny of disrespect. Especially and you're going to see, oh yeah, join my Patreon. I've got screenshots for days. And the issue is I've got so many more. So many more. It is going to be, that's one reason why it's taking me longer with the novel and also with the candles and all the other projects, because trying to get all of these up on Patreon, it takes time. And I have some for free that you can look at. And also I try to have my Patreon so that those with disabilities can like afford it too, because I already know physical therapy and medication, and then also their regular therapy and different diagnoses and different treatments and things like that, they cost. And especially when America still won't have the health insurance for all, but then they have the nerve to say for those who have disabilities you have to work to get it, when we especially those who are born with it, but then they say pro-life, but then they want to blame us for not working, when but then some people say that they want to force people with disabilities not be able to get, like, to have kids. And I mean, it's so complicated. And yeah, I already have a focus for this episode, but if you're pro-life, that means you're pro-disability. That means that you're an ally for those who are disabled, but they're not. So many of them are not. The hateful, awful, terrible things that I've heard, especially from I'm going to drag the Christian community a little bit in this episode. But yeah, it's pretty disgusting. So, but yeah, this episode is going to be kind of about the poorly educated and Thanksgiving and my thoughts of it and how I instead celebrate it. Because I don't, yeah, knowing the history of how and reading the disgusting things that a lot of the pilgrims did, and also, all of the, okay, you have white privilege, you're a colonizer when you, as white people, I keep hearing some of you guys say that you are the natives of this land. It's like you won't accept the fact that you stole this land and the fact that we have Native Americans that you like try to even force and brainwash them to be like you, and you try to enslave them, but then you were like, oh, the land too much, like. And then even with Thanksgiving, learning the creation of Thanksgiving. Okay, babies, if you don't know, take a sip of putty tea. Let's go. The pilgrims celebrated each time they burned down a native town or city, like, or village and everything. Every time they burned it down and destroyed and eliminated Native Americans, it's time for Thanksgiving. Yay! It's like drinking a mimosa next to all of these bodies. Yay! That was their Thanksgiving. They celebrated each time they ruined other people's lives. Every time they burned down. And but then that also makes me think of all the massacres. Yeah, it's like history keeps repeating itself. Right? Native Americans, African Americans, and yeah, 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 yeah. They wanted to make sure that when they stole this land, they took over this land, and that they had nobody that would be able to interfere with their heartless, terrible, goals. But now they say it's their land, and they don't want anybody else, and they only want it for whites. But yeah, they are not the natives, but they say they're the natives. Mm. They won't say they stole this land, but yeah, they lied and destroyed and literally. They would literally eliminate all of the buffalo and even like take their skin and do so many things in order to make sure that the Native Americans had fewer ways to survive. And they would literally put their sickness on blankets and give it to the Native Americans to help them pass away. Yeah, that's about the only thing they helped them with, is passing away and eliminating their goods and their housing and villages and things like that. That's how they helped. They helped by being a nightmare. Mm. Yeah, I got a lot of dating nightmare screenshots I still gotta upload too. Oh my goodness. Oh, and one reason I'm doing this, because I've mentioned it before, but with my ex's, Mr. Noteheart's oldest daughter, the last time I spoke to her was Thanksgiving 2021, I think. And after that, I realized, yeah, I gotta block you too. I've blocked, and the thing is, with all of their phone numbers and everything, I never blocked my ex because I never had to worry or think about him calling or texting. Because that's like, and I wanted to break up with him years prior, but I was too scared because of my undiagnosed disability, because of what my mother kept telling me throughout my whole life. So I was scared that no one was ever going to love me, want me, desire me, marry me, whatever. But yeah. And it's like, if you've been listening, you already know about a week or two ago, I did the episode where I found out, that he found me. He found my channel. He had no reason to, but he does the same thing with his ex-wife. So But part of me is just like, we're not married, we have no kids. You have no reason to catch up with me. No reason. Like, if you never want to call me, never want to text me other than when you needed my money, my body, my car, any of my belongings, if that's the only reason why you texted or called me, why on earth are you contacting me now? You have no reason. You don't need me anymore. And I'm not allowing you to need me anymore because you are a heartless, awful, terrible, despicable human being. Selfish. Yeah, he's just like the colonizers. He's just like the pilgrims. He'll use you up and then like, yeah, just wait for you to yeah. That's pretty much what he did. But back to his oldest daughter. Take a sip of patty tea, right? Because I remember I was just gonna tell Happy Thanksgiving, and it's like I hope that the reason or purpose that she celebrates the holiday is amazing and wonderful, something like that. I think I still have, yeah. I there once I have the phone somewhere here. It's like one day, maybe next like maybe next Thanksgiving, I will read the text verbatim. Why can't I talk right now? Maybe it's because I'm. I still remember that day, and it was still kind of heartbreaking because she was the last and only person from that relationship that I talked to. And some people were like, oh, well, that's his daughter. Why? Like, when she was younger, she would tell me how she didn't feel loved, how her younger sister, everyone babied her, everyone was just like, you're so pretty, you're so pretty. And so, like, yeah, let's just say it's a different mini series on that one. But, and I saw it, I witnessed it when her younger sister would do something absolutely crazy, obnoxious, stupid, and just like, and also like when I say she left put bruises on me and come up and say some of the rudest, meanest things to me, she did. And when I tried to tell like her father and her grandmother about it, but she's just so cute. Uh, that's how you end up with some of these young white girls in prison. Mm-hmm. Anyway, anyway. But I was on the phone with her, Thanksgiving. It's like, because I was like, oh no, it's a holiday. I want to make sure I reach out to her and everything. And after I said what I said or whatever, her response was, shouldn't, shouldn't Native Americans have gotten over it by now? It's over. That was years ago. Shouldn't they have gotten over it? But she knows that my grandmother was full blood Native American. She knows for a fact, like, I'm over 25% Native American because I have Native American on both sides of my family, but a large part from my grandmother. hmm But she had the nerve to say that. And I even reminded her. And she repeated it. She repeated it. Because part of this was texting, but then I remember, like, I think I called her, she called me, but because I think I was in shock and I was like, okay, she doesn't mean what she's saying. Because, like, with our talks, like African American month, she would come and ask me to help her, but now I kind of feel like, no, she just wanted an A, and she knew that if she had a black woman helping her and even helping with either research or giving her tips on things to look up and stuff, that will get her a higher grade. That's kind of how I feel right now, because it's like the ignorance and the poorly educated things that she had the nerve to say. It was astonishing. It was terrible. It I'm just like, "Oh my, you sound like your grandmother." So I can't be too surprised in all actuality. Yeah, I can't. I can't. And it's just crazy how we celebrate a day of Thanksgiving when Thanksgiving kind of highlights all of the horrible crimes that the pilgrims did in order to take this land. It's like it's basically we're celebrating colonizers, white men, to dehumanize and treat other people terribly. We're basically giving a congratulations for being absolutely horrid, for basically like with your so-called Christianity. Yeah, they want to call this a Christian country, but like the start, and then they want to say that they started this country like in a Christian way and stuff like, you really want to say like, so with slavery and how now there's Christian pastors who say slavery is in the Bible. If someone tries to say it's bad, is it like, oh, really listen to the colonizers around us. Really listen to the racists, the bigots, and also racists and bigots are taking it as a compliment. They're even saying, if they try to call me racist, who cares? I am, so what? They're proud. They're like, basically, if they were in like one of the scouts or whatever, it's like they would get the bigot badge, the racist badge, and they would be proud of it. And it would be right next to their Christianity badge. Yeah, or next to the Old and New Testament badge. Yeah, it might be right in between there. Yeah, because while many of them are as racist as they want to be, they sit front row at church. Yes, they do. And many of them celebrate with just the power that they have within this country, how they can label people as lazy and not educated and not good enough because they have that power. And it's like, even though we were becoming more equal and fair, but no, they don't want that. They don't want that. They're thankful for now this country is allowing them to maintain or take back some of the power that they started this country off as. Because remember how they took this land. They got the pilgrims sick on purpose. Slaughtered their buffalo and stole the fur, like their fur and everything on purpose. Went around and burned down their villages and things on purpose. And then even like Canada got a little bit on this too. But then even taking the children, putting them in schools, forcing them to act white on purpose. There are so many things that this country has done. But it's like on a day, that's why on this day, I I kind of more celebrate the Native Americans and how their strength. And now it's like I'm hearing more, like more of them are having their own podcasts and their own social medias, and I love it. Some of them are being petty, and I'm like, oh, it's like a spoonful of petty helps the ignorant, poorly educated people go down. And I hope one day, like if I can, get a large enough channel and stuff, I want to have sit downs and even interviews, like one on one in person or virtually, whatever. I want to talk to them. I want to hear their perspective. I want to hear what they have to say. Because when I have, like, I think she was 19 or 20 when she said this about a pill. Oh, they should have gotten over it. It's like Generation Z. And I'm going to talk about this a lot. Probably going to be ending up to be like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 8 episodes when I talk about education, because we literally have a rapper going around now saying, yeah, you don't need to be literate, be financially literate. Like, what? No, I've got so many questions for, yeah. Anyway. But I'm thankful for having an education. It's like, because, yeah, I have to think about Thanksgiving in different ways because being thankful, but also, like, some people say, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for that. Like, yeah, mm, I have to be, I have to think about the things we need changed in this country because we literally have ice melting all over this country, hunting down people. And I've said this in many episodes, but when it comes to the education of this country, other countries know more about our history than we do. Other countries know about the inhumane things. And speaking of that, people, colonizers keep wanting to repeat history right now. Pay attention. I talk about the domino effect. I talk about how you don't teach history, how we repeat things. I talk about how colonizers, they want you to be as poorly educated as possible. And it's really funny how there's the Vivek. He is not a Caucasian person, and he's a Republican. And it's funny how the way he looks at education compared to a lot of the colonizing Republicans, because even the Orange Man just said that we don't have any talented or qualified people. I'm not quoting him, but it's like when he was being interviewed, that she was like, "We don't have educated or qualified," and he was like, "No, we don't." This is like the fourth or fifth time the Orange Man has basically said that we as a country are not smart. But then at the same time, look at what he's doing with education. He doesn't want us as a nation, as a country, to know what really happened. He doesn't want us to know our authentic history. He only wants us to know the whitewashed because we still have a lot of colonizers who want to repeat, redo, retry. Yeah. And we have to remember when he said black jobs, like a lot of people aren't like, we still have a lot of mm, rat, no, Candace Owens, like, black people. Yeah. I'll see. Yeah. Yeah. People who like are, yeah. But, hmm I think you know where I'm getting at. But they are not listening or paying attention. It's like a lot of them wanted to reword what the Orange Man said or meant by black jobs. When that one comedian said that horrible, horrible joke about the Hispanic community with the island and trash and things, they wanted to reword it. They wanted to find it funny. When the Orange Man said that they were eating cats and dogs, they wanted to find it funny and or even say that it might be happening. We are not paying attention. So I am thankful for my education. I am thankful for knowing how to do my research. I am happy for not being stuck in this crazy, horrible, just despicable, whitewashed, brainwashed cult. It's like I'm glad that I'm not, because a lot of these Orange Man supporters, for some reason, they just want the colonizers to love them so much. Even though a lot of the colonizers are in the clans or in these certain organizations where they're cheering on for ICE to get rid of all of them. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's just from my one of my minors, if you've been listening, is in anthropology. So it's just been kind of interesting watching and listening to the behaviors of different demographics, especially when it comes to the white man and when it comes to history and also different laws and things that are, happening in DEI. Because a lot of people want to say, well, these women are getting fired from their jobs because they weren't capable or able or educated enough to do it in the first place. But they don't believe in racism, but then they believe in reverse racism. But then they want to say that these black women didn't deserve their jobs or careers, even though black women are the most educated demographic in this country. And I know for myself, I've already given you guys so many stories of the racism that I have been through. And if you guys don't believe me with the jobs, I have shown you so many screenshots of dating nightmares of when met these men are racist. I've been called the Jim Crow slave, the N word. I've been called so many. And then a lot of Republican white men. It's funny when they try to call me racist because I'm not going to date a Republican. But then I'm like, think about that. Think about that really hard. Okay, think about racism and then think about political stance. It's like, I mean, if it was politicalism, if I can be a politicalist, you know, then fine, because I am not going to date. Like, I mean, but that's only when it comes to dating. I have a few friends that are Republican. They didn't vote for the, yeah. Oh, if you did, once you tell me you voted for the orange man, we're done. We're not friends. It's like if I gotta work with you, then okay, I will work with you. But am I going to have lunch break with you? No, no. If you need my help, fine. If you have my number and you tell me that you have a flat tire or something happened, I'll see what I can do, you know? Because you are human. I try to, go to the extent of treating everyone like humans and things. So, but yeah, it's like, I'm not, it's like, because yeah, some people, like, they get so, like, their egos. You're not going to date me? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I am so thankful that I I know why and I know the history and I know what I want. It's like after all of these years, I'm thankful for being diagnosed because I've told you about some of these no good white male doctors. Some of them were female, some of them were Indian. One of them was a black female, which that one hurts the most. That one hurts the most. But yeah. Being born with a disability, being a female, being black in this country, I am thankful that I've come this far. I am thankful that I think I've been blessed with an amazing imagination, which you guys are going to see very soon with my candles and soon my novels and my cookbooks and my activity books. Some are educational, some are just, fun puzzles and etc., etc., etc. I'm thankful, and all of these are handmade. All of these are made by me. But I'll talk about that in another episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.